Hey guys, it's Greg with By the Bootstraps, btbootstraps.com. Check out the store, check out the social media. Links will be below. Like if you like this video. Subscribe if you want to see more. I want to talk about the election of 2020 and all the things that are going on here, and listening to all the hysteria of the Democratic Party and the media and everyone who are coming out and saying that Biden won the election, Biden won the election, Biden won the election. You know, first of all, he's president-elect. He's not the president. The current president stays in office until January 20th, in which case then Biden is sworn in and becomes the president. Okay. Second of all, they haven't certified any of these races, and there's a lot of questions that are going on. There's a lot of questionable activities, to say the least, of things that have happened. Now, over the weekend, the news media, primarily the news media, came out there and said that Biden had won the election. In fact, my best friend was over here when they happened, and he was going on and on about it. To which I said, you know, we don't know that, man. You know, we don't know what's going to happen. And honestly, it's dangerous of the media to be saying this when you still have states that haven't been called, and you still have questions, and you have lawsuits pending. You know, there's a lot of irregularities there that need to be answered, such as well, first of all, why did they stop counting in multiple states? It just so happens to be all the swing states that Trump was, at the time, overwhelmingly winning. So they stopped counting for several hours, and then when they come back, now this is when they were shut down for counting, they come back, and in, was it Michigan, Biden has 140,000 votes just when they were stopped counting. You know, Wisconsin, Biden's up by 100,000 votes, again, when they stopped counting. You know, poll watchers were not allowed to observe the ballots that were being counted in several states. Oh, only Republican poll watchers. Even though they had court orders saying that they should be there, they were told they couldn't go, flat out denied. Or when they did let them come in, they set them 20 feet away from what was going on. I mean, you can't see what's on a ballot 20 feet away. It's impossible unless you got a pair of binoculars, which they weren't allowed to have either. You know, you got all these people saying that, you know, Trump should just concede. He should just concede and just, you know, it's over. It's over. Well, no, it's not over. There's a lot of things that need to be questioned. You know, there's lawsuits in several states right now. You know, Wisconsin's going to go into an automatic recount. That's how close the margins were. Funny enough, after they stopped counting, you know, it was Hillary Clinton back in August that told Biden to not concede under any circumstances. But now she's also out here saying that Trump should give up. He should concede. Well, gee, that doesn't match what you said in August. You know, this mail-in ballot thing, this push for mail-in ballot, was so that they could fight COVID. Bullshit. It had nothing to do with COVID. It's so that they could cook the numbers. And I damn well guarantee that's exactly what they're doing. I mean, you can say what you want to say. It doesn't make sense. Trump was winning and you guys know that I voted for the president. You know, I've made no qualms or misleading statements about that. As I said before, he wasn't my first choice, but you know, he is the president. He's the one that I chose. And out of the two, I'm going to go with Trump before I'm going to go with Biden. I mean, let's just look at what was going on prior to the election, okay? You had Trump doing multi-day rallies, all right, at many different states, over and over and over, bringing in thousands and thousands of people. You had boat parades, you had car parades, or car trains, Trump trains, whatever you want to call them. They had one that had 96 miles of cars lined up for Trump. All right, what was that one in Miami where it's, what, 70,000 cars, I think it was, of people that showed up? Biden couldn't get 30 people in a room, and that was consistently. Kamala Harris and Biden would go out, and you couldn't get anyone. There was no enthusiasm. You mean to tell me that all that enthusiasm for Trump, it just went away? And that all these silent voters all of a sudden just showed up in mass? How in the hell is it you have more votes than you have registered voters in your county, as we are seeing multiple times? You know, that makes no sense. And so, yeah, it's not a failure to sit there and say, okay, maybe Biden did win, and maybe he did. I'm not saying he did. I'm not saying he didn't. Maybe Trump won. Maybe he lost. Again, we don't know. But we should have the transparency to actually see the results. Let it be counted. I mean, honestly, I wish they would redo the election. I really wish they would redo the election. No more of this mail-in ballot crap. You go to your polling place either absentee, early voting, or you vote in person the day of with a valid ID. That right there would take care of all this problem. But more importantly is that we as Americans, everyone, would have more confidence in the integrity of the system. Because right now, I can't trust the results. I mean, and what's even worse is that the media coming out here and proclaiming that Biden won. This is a dangerous game. Look how bad things got over the summer with the riots and the looting and the protesting. What do you think is going to happen if this goes to the Supreme Court and they come back and say, yeah, what they did at these election locations is just no, it's not constitutional. And what if they say in the end, Trump is the next president? You think these same people who burnt down all these cities and then continue to do so are going to walk away after being told by the media that Biden's the president? They're going to say it was a stolen election and they're going to burn down these cities. This will make the summer look like child's play. And it'll be your fault, media. If they wanted to nip this in the ass immediately, they should redo the election a month from now. Do your early voting, do your absentee ballots, or show up in person with an ID. Be as transparent as you can humanly possibly be. That way no one can walk away and say, it wasn't fair, it wasn't right. But right now, you got 70 million people on one side saying, which by the way, we can't even claim if it was 70 million. That's just what they tell us. We don't know how many ballots were thrown away. You got people on Twitter and Facebook bragging about throwing away ballots. Poll watchers and counters, the guys who were doing the numbers. There's a guy in Detroit bragging that he said he and his group in that facility threw away tens of thousands of votes. Is that dude being investigated? He should. Anyone who was involved in anything, nefarious activity at all. We don't know if there were 70 million Trump votes. There could have been 80 million. That's just what they tell us. But we don't know what got destroyed. We don't know what got lost in the mail. We have no earthly idea. And guess what? That's true for Biden as well. I would rather than redo it, take the time, make sure that everything is legit before running out and announcing one thing or the other. But I'll tell you this much. If Trump does win, and I personally think he will, but if Trump wins, man, you better brace, because they talk about a dark winter's coming. No, it won't be dark. The sky will be red. And that'll be your city and my city burning down. I'll talk to you guys later.